What up, folks? We're doing some heavy hauling today. I've got the 2017 F550 6.7 liter Powerstroke with the 488 rear end, CM truck bed, long wheelbase, 19.5 kg GVWR, 30 foot 25 plus 5 Suretrac 30k trailer, and my KX080-4 excavator with the mulching attachment, an angle blade, and steel tracks. So we're hauling 30k in the big rig. I just filled out my logbook, doing my little pre-trip inspection, and we're gonna get on our way. I've made a couple videos before, but it's kind of a gloomy, crappy day. And you know, you'll see how the truck handles in the rain and you know, all that sort of stuff. The truck does great. I use this truck all year. It's got like 30,000 kilometers on it right now. I bought this in the spring in Manitoba and drove it home. And I've been using it to haul this excavator all over the maritime provinces here in Canada all year with really no issues at all. The transfer case that I had to replace the seal in. Other than that, just oil changes, and it's been great. It's automatic, obviously. It hauls great. Feels very, very nice towing down the road, but we'll discuss that as we get going. So, gonna go fill up the truck, fill up the machine, and then we're gonna go mulch a road. And it's going to be a 2 or 3 day job, so we're down there for a little bit. But we've got probably about a 45 to an hour drive away. The guy who loaded this last, it's not really where I like the machine. I like the machine ahead, like another 10 inches or so. But it will do for getting us down there. That's where I like it. I find if it's back a little bit too far in the wheels, you know, you start getting that hucking and bucking a little bit. But I've got the airbags on this truck, Sam, you know I do. So I've got the Firestone heavy duty airbags on this truck. I got the compressor mounted. There's my work buddy. I've got the compressor mounted in there. Firestone, I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Hey buddy boy, stay still. And obviously the remote Firestone ride right, and right now I have 87 pounds in the bags right now. So let's get going. A little history lesson for people just checking in. I know it might be a little repetitive for the guys that have been around for a while, but so this is my 2017 F550 6.7 liter Powerstroke turbo diesel, 488 gears, long wheelbase, 19,500 kg GVW. So what I do with this truck and trailer combination, I travel all over the maritime provinces and do vegetation management. So this truck is hooked up to this gooseneck with this load pretty much the whole time. The only time it wouldn't be is if myself or my operator returns home from the road with this truck. The majority of the time I drive up in my Tundra or my 250 and replace him, so this truck stays and it's hooked up to the gooseneck and it's always towing. This truck right now has 29,370 kilometers on it. I found this truck out in Manitoba. Last year I did the same work with this machine, but I had a International 9100 series tandem and a triaxle float that I towed this around with. And I always had to have a second truck going with my operator, because trying to check into hotels and go to restaurants and get food and stuff when you're on the road with the tandem is a little bit difficult. So I got thinking, you know, how can I do this better? And, you know, they're making these trucks more and more capable now. So I said, all right, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna buy either a Ram 5500 or an F550 crew cab, gooseneck trailer, and that's what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna see how it goes. Couldn't find really any videos out there whatsoever of someone using this setup at the time. I found one guy in Regina, I believe. He had an F450 with the same machine and a gooseneck, and I wrote him a few times, but he wouldn't respond. I actually had originally ordered an F450 XLT. I built it for me. I actually ordered it. I had, you know, the camera package, power seat, which is a must. And, you know, it would definitely do the job, that's for sure. As far as towing the machine around, there'd be no problems. It actually has more horsepower than this. This is dialed down to like 330 or 350 horsepower and like 800 pound-feet of torque. So they have these dialed down. So the F450, as far as towing wise, would probably do maybe even a bit better. Obviously, I would have put airbags in the back, just like I have airbags in this one. I have airbags in basically everything. Sam. But then I got thinking again. You know what? I think an F550 cab and chassis with a flat deck bed would be perfect, because then I can mount my fuel tank on back. I can mount toolboxes on back. I can have all my saws with me, all the tools with me in case something breaks, and it's just all right there. Like, that would be completely ideal. And the suspension's heavier. You know, the 450 and the 550 both have the wider front axle, so it makes it easier to turn. So that's what I did. It was too late to cancel my order, but they worked with me. You know, I ended up basically sort of buying this truck through them. They dealt with the dealer out there. I flew out, drove it home, got it geared up and started using it. Like I said, I haven't had any issues at all, except for the transfer case seal was leaking. So that was at like 5,000 kilometers ago. So I had that replaced, the seal replaced. Other than that, it's been great. You know, I'm on some windy, twisty roads here right now before I get on the highway. I'm doing like 80 kilometers an hour. In the truck, you know, the truck just honestly feels great. It handles great. It doesn't feel overworked, you know, in these situations at all. Obviously, when you get on the highway and you hit some steep hills, it slows down. There's no doubt about it. It's just like any other vehicle that's towing a lot of weight. Like a big rig towing a lot of weight, a dump truck towing a lot of weight. Anything. It hits hills, it's gonna slow down. But I can pretty consistently, you know, travel right along at like 60 miles per hour if I want to. And at 60, 65, 70 miles per hour, it still feels great, feels very confident. You know, obviously tow haul mode on. I've got the exhaust brakes on. The truck really does perform very good. The braking feels pretty good. Obviously there's a lot of weight back there, so it's not gonna stop. It's not gonna stop like you'd stop if you had no weight behind you. But it does feel good. And the exhaust brake works really good. The exhaust brake combined with the, you know, just the engine downshifting does a really good job of handling the load. It makes you feel very confident even when you're going down some steep grades, which I've done. I posted a video of this truck climbing up a mountain and then going back down the mountain, and the truck basically held its speed. I had to touch the brakes, I think twice. The truck held its speed very well the whole time. I actually just reset my fuel mileage meter, so I'm gonna see what I get going down there. And at the end of the day, I do plan on bringing the trailer back to park in the yard until the job's done, just so it's out of the way. So I'm gonna you know, take my trip down there loaded, and then we'll see that compared to the trip back. Obviously there's going to be a big difference. That's a lot of weight. So I'm just getting ready to merge onto the highway here. So I'm in 4th fourth gear right now. My foot is not to the floor. I'm not going to push the truck. In fifth. Up in sixth. So I'm gonna set the cruise control at 102 kilometers an hour. So, you know, about 62 miles per hour. And we'll see how it holds its gear, holds its speed. It's holding 6 right now. It's really windy out, so hopefully you guys can, you know, hear the truck and hear me. The excavator is definitely back a little bit too far on the trailer. It's not a bad ride right now, but it's not as good as what it could be. So like when I'm done with the machine and I'm coming back, I'll definitely have it forward a bit and put more weight on the truck. I posted a video before too. I'll put that at the end here. When I got pulled into the scale house and they checked all my weights, and I was very, very, very safe and well within all my legal weight parameters on the truck. Better than what I thought, to be honest with you. I configured this sort of setup knowing that I would be okay, but you know, you always second guess yourself, and you know, you don't know by how much until you get pulled into a scale. And I got pulled in the scale and everything was perfect. Everything was a-okay and very, very, very well within my limits. So for the purpose of this video, I'm gonna let the truck just do its thing. I'm not gonna manually shift the truck at all. When I'm actually just driving without the camera on and, you know, showing you what the truck can do, you can definitely, obviously you're seeing what's going on in front of you. You know when you're going down a hill and you're about to go up a hill. You can gear down if you want, shift up if you want. You know, you can hit the grade with speed before you get to the hill. All those sort of things. So, you know, if you're paying attention to what you're doing, you can really help the truck out. But I'm just gonna let the truck do its thing. We're starting to go down a grade right now, and then we're gonna be coming up quite a good grade, like a long gradual grade. So we'll see what the truck does. It's definitely gonna shift down, there's no doubt about it. But we'll see, you know, when it shifts down, and if it has to shift down to fourth, or if fifth, if it can hold fifth. We're pretty much at the bottom of the grade now. We probably picked up about 3 kilometers of speed there, and now we're just starting to go back up the grade. So the truck, like, obviously, because it doesn't know what's in front of it, let itself slow down beyond the speed, like the speed that I have it set at, because it was trying to get back down to that speed. Just shifted to fifth. 92 kilometers an hour. 90 kilometers an hour. 88. It's holding 88. We're back to the top. Picking up speed. 95. 100. Back up to 6. That's a pretty good grade right there that we just went over, and you just dropped down to 5th and just kind of pulled itself right back up. And again, if I was manually shifting the truck, I would have hit the hill with a bit more speed, and that actually shifted down pretty good. But sometimes I do find that it tries to hold 6th gear way too long, as every vehicle does, because it's trying to maximize its fuel mileage. So like a lot of times I would shift it into fifth a lot quicker than what it does, but that actually handled it quite well right there. So just on the highway 102 here in Halifax, and it's like rush hour right now, so there's tons of traffic. Everyone's in a rush, you know, to get to work and just weaving and bobbing and stuff. And you know, I'm just driving along here with, you know, 30,000 pounds behind me, as if it's nothing, really. You know what I mean? Like, feels good. Truck feels very safe. I can get out and pass people if I want. I can maneuver around them. I can do whatever the hell I want. It's actually pretty cool when you pass somebody in this truck. It makes you feel pretty good. You whip out and pass somebody with that much weight behind you in one of these trucks. It's a pretty neat feeling. All right. So for the next couple of minutes, for some reason, there was no audio whatsoever with the footage. Basically, I think all I was talking about was, you know, how the truck was driving up the hills, shifting down, getting back up to speed, all that sort of thing. And then I was talking about the 1,000 subscriber giveaway that I had planned on doing, and I still plan to do. So, you know, a hat for sure, possibly a hoodie at 1,000 subs, but my wife kind of had an idea that it would be cool if we could reach 4,000 subscribers by the end of this year, which is a big number considering we're not even at 1,000 yet. But if we can get 4,000 subs by the end of this year, I'm going to give away an Apple Watch Series 3. So, you know, those things are like $500 here in Canada, so that's pretty good. So start subbing, get in a chance to win. That's all you gotta do. Gotta be a sub. Right on. Let's do it. Bet it wasn't a nice day. It's nice scenery down here. Almost there. Very high tides today. They sent out some warnings last night, actually, regarding the height of the water. A lot of times there's actually like a sandbar there and a beach there. That's just completely gone. Very high tides. Alright, fellas, so we averaged 39.5 liters per every 100 kilometers coming down here. So we're here, it's rainy, it's crappy. A little bit of job turnaround here, but that's the beauty of the gooseneck. It's pretty much impossible to jackknife it, although it still is possible. But here she is, so I'm gonna get her unloaded. Start doing this road that's over there, and it's a good task. It's gonna be not a quick job, that's for sure, but we'll get her unloaded and do some work. So we're getting close to being back now, and you know, obviously we're empty, so we're just cruising down the highway. I got my cruise set at 108. We're just getting ready to go up a hill right now. Obviously, with this amount of weight, as far as suspension goes, or you know, feel goes, if you didn't, you know, look in your rear view mirror or your side mirrors, you honestly would not know that the trailer is even back there. I had 87 pounds in the bags when I left with the load on, and I have like 23 pounds in it now. I don't need anything in it at all for this amount of weight, and I mean, I don't need it for the loaded either, but it just helps. But I just leave, you know, around 20 pounds in it just to keep some air in there. So right now we are averaging 26 liters per every 100 kilometers on our trip home here, with just the empty trailer. So when we get home, we'll see what the final number is and the combined number, and there you go. Those are the results.